Hey everybody, it's Gypsy and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. So today I am working on something I have never done before, and that is saving sunflower seeds. So as you guys know, I planted 6 sunflowers along the edge of my lattice wall, kind of just to divide the gardens. Those 6 sunflowers produced so many flower heads that, you know, there's no way I'm really going to collect all these seeds. And then I have some in other parts of the garden where I just threw a sunflower in here or there. So my plans for these seeds is to save some of them for planting next year, which of course I won't need a whole lot. Saving some to feed the birds and other animals throughout the winter, and saving some to roast to make, for healthy snacks for me and my family. So I'm also thinking I'm just gonna every once in a while take a flower head and throw it out into the woods for the animals. They like to pick it off. And I found a new reason why I love to plant sunflowers. They attract goldfinches. I love goldfinches and I rarely get to see them. But I would say about 2, 3 weeks ago, goldfinches were coming and, picking out the seeds and eating them and stuff. That has stopped because I think, the summer birds are migrating now. So I don't see the goldfinches anymore, but it's another good reason for me to plant the sunflowers. So I, what I typically do is, all right, you have your sunflower, and as the seeds start to form and get bigger, the sunflower head gets heavier and it starts drooping and drooping and drooping and drooping like this. And then you'll see the outer petals the petals will all fall off. And it's at that point I snip them off. So what I tried to do is like dry them the first time. I've never done this before. I'm kind of experimenting. So I found that I have a couple of these, lingerie bags that you use for laundry. So the first time I did it, I just filled the thing with sunflower heads. And so I went and I opened the one bag that I had filled all the way. I found out don't fill it all the way. You have to put in just a few like this so that everything is getting air, because I found some were moldy. So I had to discard those. So I just saved the seeds from the ones that didn't get moldy. So now I'm just putting a few in, making sure everybody gets air, and then I will hang this up someplace to dry. And this is a good way to do it. So I'm also wondering if I have to wait for it to dry. So I think I'm going to experiment with cutting off a fresh one and see how collecting seeds works with that. Okay. So what I did was, I'll show you in a minute how I did that. But after I collect them, I put them in here. And I'm kind of like, shaking it as if I were sifting flour, for baking a cake. And I've been doing this. And I don't know if you could see, but little debris is coming out of the bottom. I'm trying to get just the seeds because, pieces of the flower head, and the center of a sunflower is like a million teeny tiny little flowers. Those get in here too. So, yeah, I have to put my glasses on to see this. It seems to be working. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing this. Well, I guess until it stops. There are bigger pieces in here I need to pick out. Oh, I also have some poking out. Okay, so Yeah, this is working. I am to the point where I nearly have just sunflower seeds. So I think after I get everything out of here, I'm going to rinse these and then I'm going to have to dry them out. So that's going to be the next step. But I picked these. Let me see. I'm sorry about that. I picked some sunflower heads the other day. And these are kind of dry, but they're not, I didn't have them drying as long as the first batch that is this. So, let's see. I'm going to see if I can turn the camera. Yeah, this looks like this will work too. Might even work even better. So, I don't know if you could see, but in here, these little dark things, those are the individual little flowers in, the flower head. So you could just lightly brush those off like this. Okay, and then you will be able to, I hope I can point them out to you. You'll be able to see the tops of the seeds. Okay. Now I found your best seeds are on the outside. Those are the most mature. And then in the center, they don't have any, or at least, well, this one might. A lot of them didn't. Now there's really no good seeds in there. But you'll be able to see as you get rid of the flowers, you see those white, and I do have some sunflowers that have dark seeds, black seeds, so you will see, tips of the black seeds here. So, I think my cat Rianne's in the window looking out, seeing what I'm doing. So, that's what I do first. Now, I want to turn the camera around and see if I can show you how I get the seeds out. And if you guys, do this and you have advice, suggestions on how to do this easier, please let me know. So I think you can see. So what I do is I'm just kind of rubbing this, and I kind of like push back that, and I'm just kind of getting in there. And you're just kind of picking them out, rubbing them out. As I'm rubbing, more and more come out easier. So the further you go along, the easier it gets. So I don't know if you can, it's hard for me to see at this angle, if you can see what I'm doing here. So that's what I'm doing. Now these did not set out as long as my other ones did. So maybe you don't need to let them dry. I don't know. I mean, actually, these actually seem to be in better condition. So anyways, that's how I do that. So I take them out, I put them in here, and then I'm kind of sifting out the debris. But I want to see, is it better to pick them and then get the seeds out right away or wait to this point? I don't know. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the garden and I'm going to pick a sunflower head that's ready to be picked, and I'm going to see how it is fresh off the stalk or the stem or whatever you call it. Okay, so as you can see, these were standing up straight, and now they're starting to droop as the seeds are getting bigger and maturing and getting heavier. So let me see what I could find within reach. Now I have some under here. These are, if I could get this out of the way, these are totally drooped down. I could probably take those. I'm looking to see if there's one that has lost its petals. Look at my morning glories, just look so pretty. Oh, look at this, morning glories are creeping everywhere. So let me see. Here's one. Maybe I can find a bigger one. Yeah, that's not bad. Let me see over here. Trying to think where I did not harvest from last time. Okay. Yeah. See, I have like 2 different varieties of the cherry chocolate sunflowers. And, it's like they're 2 different sizes. Yeah, see, look at that huge one up there. I have to get that. Maybe I should pull that one down. So, this is the size I got. So I'm going to take this over to my table. Wow. And see if I could just take this one and just take it fresh from the stalk. This was like one of my first blossoms, and it got so tall that I couldn't, reach it. So we'll see. Okay, so I got this one. This is like the biggest sunflower head that I have. It was the first one, I think, to bloom. But it got so tall, it was up there about 6, 7, 8 feet, something like that. So I had to take my cane and pull it down and then cut it off. So, yeah, this up there, it feels pretty dry. So this might work. So let's see what happens as opposed to this one that I let sit a bit after I pegged it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around again. I don't know how the birds do this, pick through. Like, since this one is so big, you can see much better the individual flowers that are in there. I mean, there's like millions of them. And sometimes they start picking, trying to get the seeds before these are all gone. So wait, I'm going to take some of these flowers out. Okay, so took some out over here. Let's see. Might be better to just leave them. This one was up there quite some time only because I couldn't reach it. Now, look at that. I think that's a really nice seed. Yeah, it comes out. There might be slight resistance in one that was just picked, but I don't really see that big of a difference. So, I think if I feel like it, like once I clip off a flower head, I could just remove the seeds immediately instead of letting them sit there. So I guess it's whatever you prefer. But yeah, these are coming out, and those are good sized seeds. So yeah, these are great. So I am going to work on sifting these and getting all the flower heads and debris out. Something this size is not gonna sift out through here. Anyways, so I think I'm gonna continue sifting this out and we'll work with what I have here. Okay, and I am wondering, okay, so after I sift this out, I'm gonna wash them, which they have to be dried, which I don't know how long that will take or what I'm going to dry them on. I'm wondering, can I put these in my dehydrator for a bit to dry them out so that they're ready for the animals to eat, for us to eat, and ready to plant next spring. So I'm going to do a little research on that. Okay, so I rinsed my sunflower seeds, and I just spread them out and placed them between 2 towels just to absorb the excess water. Now, according to my research, you can put these in the dehydrator on the lowest temperature for 4 to 8 hours. And it says to keep checking them. And that will make them ready, well, for storage, to plant for next spring, to salt and roast, feed to the birds, whatever. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to transfer these to a dehydrator tray. Okay, so I spread some of the seeds on a dehydrator tray. I am going to put these in for about, 4 hours, maybe a little longer, and see what happens. Okay, so these are the sunflower seeds I did today. So I did them in the dehydrator. I didn't do 4 hours, I did more like 3. So what I'm noticing is the smaller, lighter colored seeds with the stripes are much more fragile and they break. Now the black ones, those are nice and firm and hard. So I think tomorrow I'm going to go through these and see, pick a few seeds that seem really viable, appear that way. And I'm going to do like a test germination to see if these will germinate. So I might do a video on that tomorrow and show you what I'm doing. But anyways, I am done for the day. I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.